no football this week. After a tough loss at West Point Friday night, the Wave have an open date, and Coach, comes at a good time going into division play.
Comes in a good time. That's one thing we try to do is we've tried to protect that date over the last 7 years, is to give us that chance that immediately after non-division we get a week off to get healthy, to try to get our kids back. Also give us time to do a little self-scout to get ready to kind of change up maybe some tendencies or something like that as we get into division play.
This week, kind of take us through the schedule with no game Friday night. Do you do anything different? Do you cut back on some things? How do you approach an open week?
Well, first thing, we give the kids off Sunday, and the coaching staff off Sunday, so that there was no film to break down for the next week. So they were able to have a full weekend. Then Monday we come in and watch our game film and lift what's very similar to what we require the kids to do on Sunday. We did that on Monday and then let them go. So there's no after school practice. During the open week we'll practice after school, or our regular football practice, so to speak, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday we'll go back to the weight room, do some things and send them out so that they get a little bit of a lighter week. We cut back some on practice time, just mainly to have this week focus on us and not somebody else.
Right. And where are we now with our health? How are all the guys doing?
We've got a few nicks and bruises, but this time of the year, that's one of the things to be expected. I heard Herm Edwards speak a long time ago, and he was telling his team that, it's football, you'll feel better in February.
That's right.
And so that's kind of where we are at this point. We've had some injuries that the week will help us get over and get some kids back to be ready to play. For Hernando, if we had to go Friday, we would have some kids that would miss this week, but they'll be back for division play and be ready to go.
4 games, 2-2. As tough of a non-conference schedule as anybody in the state could even imagine. Where would you assess your team after these four games?
Well, you always want to be 4-0.
Right.
We'd love to say we're going to win every ball game, but to be 2-2, I'm more than pleased with where we're at, especially when some of the early predictions and the prognosticators and all that claimed to know
3-8, right?
said we were going to be 3-8 and we were going to be 0-4 at this juncture. To go ahead and know that we're 2/3 of the way from where they said we would be, with still quite a number of games left to play. So we're pleased with it. Now, granted, there are some things that we need to clean up, but in truth, we're a play or two away from being 3-1.
Exactly. Let's look back at the West Point game. Of course, lost that one 37-7. West Point's a very good team. We talked about that last week. They're pretty solid in every phase of the game.
They're really good. They're really good defensively. They have a great O-line and running back. And we can't come out and get behind. We came out and made some mistakes early, penalties, some turnovers early that got us, so far in a hole. And you're not going to climb out of a hole against a team like West Point. It's just not going to happen. I put them up there as probably one of the top 1 or 2 teams in the state of Mississippi at this point. And so you knew that going in, and I thought we had to get over some big game jitters, but once we settled down second half and stuff, we played better. I wish we'd have played that way throughout the entire 4 quarters.
I thought late in the second quarter, we're down 21-0. We get the touchdown. We have some momentum going our way. You saw it shift in the way the guys were playing. It looked like we had held on 3rd down and about to force a punt and a penalty flag on pass interference. Kind of questionable, I thought. I know you can't answer that.
Yeah, I'll just quote Muschamp, Will Muschamp from Saturday.
I'll be fine the rest of my life.
There you go.
But boy, that just seemed to be a huge momentum change.
That was a momentum changer right there. It kind of swung it where we go out and we make a stop. We actually stopped them on their first possession of the second half. And so that could have been, that's kind of a 2-score swing that it could have been. But it was a big momentum letdown. We have a great drive and go down and cap off with a touchdown. And then to get that, you hate to see, something like that, but it's part of the game.
It is. On that scoring drive before, I thought Trip Wilson had some really nice catches.
He made some really good catches. Our quarterback made some good balls. Thing about Trip is he has no fear.
Right.
He's in there and he's fearless. He's a guy that will cross the middle, will block, will do some things, and he's not afraid to do it. I think we had a night out of a quarterback that'll be hard to replicate. I think he was 17 of 18. I don't think you can ask for much better night out of a quarterback than that. Did have 1 turnover, but so is life.
That's right. You have the open week. Now, will you go back to your original schedule on Saturday and Sunday with film and scouting?
We'll be back. Our coaches will be back. We'll be back to normal as we roll into Sunday. It'll be a game week, and we'll be doing what we do.
It'll be another road game. I feel like we're going to be about a month before we're back at home playing.
Yeah, we'll have another road game. You know, we'll be off and had the open week, and now we'll be off again on the road. We'll go to Hernando to a guy that I know real well, and Coach Wolf, and so we'll have our hands full. And in our division, there's never an easy one.
No, never. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. Enjoyed the open week.
Yeah.
What do you do on a Friday night when you're not coaching?
Probably going to go watch somebody else play.
Still going to be football involved.
Still be football, so that's what we'll do, and then have plans to go watch a college football game Saturday, so we'll be doing that.
Nice. For Gridiron Takes, I'm Greg Ellis.